AP Cram, the AP Human Geography exam, free response question 32, Global Division of Labor, the new International Division of Labor. To get a head start on next year's APs, or for late test date takers, or just to review for your current AP classes, inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com. And if I have availability, I'll be able to connect with you or also inquire about purchasing exclusive review materials. Economic restructuring is transforming the world economy. Define and discuss 7 key features of the new International Division of Labor, also known as the Global Division of Labor. The first key feature that I want to highlight is the economic interdependence globalization phenomenon. There are many ways you can go with this. I'm going to focus on one in particular. So I'll give you a moment to formulate your answer in your mind and write it out. Press pause if you need to. Well, there's a dependence on core or more developed countries, MDCs, on lower cost production and labor from less developed countries, LDCs, for mass produced goods such as automobiles. It could even be like farming, bananas, clothing. The possibilities are endless. Okay. All right, so a second key feature that has revolutionized our international division of labor are the innovations made in transportation and communication. So I'll give you a moment to formulate your answer with regard to these two phenomenons. Be sure to write out a complete and concise answer. Press pause if you need to. There's been a time-space compression via advancements in communications and transportation, and efficiencies in these areas have led to a really good separation of production and consumption. A third key feature that has revolutionized the new International Division of Labor, also known as the Global Division of Labor, is the phenomenon that is referred to as comparative advantage. You might not know what the heck this means, or you probably do, just in a different set of wording, or not set of wording that doesn't make sense. You may be familiar with this worded differently, so I'll give you a moment to think. And if you don't know, just sit back and relax. The answer is coming up. Press pause if you're writing out your answer. All right, so advantages to locations that combine lower operating costs, which is very important for plant operations, including labor, taxes, relaxation of environmental regulations, which may not be that great because now you have situations like Flint, but hey, it costs to run a business. Specialization, efficiencies, okay, resulting in trade and sale opportunities. So, people or companies that have plants for manufacturing are going to look at all these different things and they're going to go with the choice that is best for them with regard to such factors. Okay. A fourth key feature that has restructured the International Division of Labor is outsourcing and offshoring, sorry, I didn't pronounce that completely. It's tangentially related to the comparative advantage feature we highlighted previously. So I'll give you a moment to formulate an answer in your mind and write it out. Press pause if you need to, especially for those who are writing out answers. All right. So specialized jobs in outsourcing and offshoring are contracted to companies and locations in order to achieve comparative advantages. And these companies and locations may be in Brazil, India, Mexico, basically, especially Asia. You know, basically companies who offer lower cost labor, lower tax rates, and relaxation of environmental regulation, and specialization efficiencies at lower costs to the manufacturer. Okay, or the client, if the client is having a product made, that they give a blueprint to a special company and they have that product made by a separate company other than themselves, which goes on a lot in the world of manufacturing. Okay. Okay, so a fifth key feature that has transformed the International Division of Labor is profit drive. And this concept is tangentially related to the previous two highlights, which were comparative advantage and outsourcing offshoring. So I'll give you a moment to formulate your answer in your mind and write it out. Press pause if you need to. All right. Transnational or multinational corporations simply need to reduce costs, so they're going to base a lot of their decisions on the need to reduce costs, such as costs for labor, taxes, environmental regulations, and specialization efficiencies that were all mentioned before. And for those of you who don't know the definition of a transnational or multinational corporation, it's any corporation that is registered and operates in more than one country at any given time. Um, a transnational or multinational corporation may have its headquarters in one country and operate wholly or partially in other countries in partially owned subsidiaries. Okay, so that's that. A sixth key feature that has transformed the International Division of Labor is trade agreements. I'm not sure if you were taught any prominent ones by your instructor or if you read your book, but you should have been taught a few, or at least one, that's going to be mentioned in a few seconds. So I'll give you a moment to formulate your answer or press pause if you're writing it out, okay? Formal agreements such as NAFTA, this one is relevant to the United States for those of you who actually live in the US, and company country pacts that reduce trade barriers such as tariffs and borders, all right? There are always fees and tariffs and taxes for importing foreign goods into a country, as well as some exportation ones as well. All right. And if you're not familiar with NAFTA, this is the acronym for the North American Free Trade Agreement. It's an agreement amongst the US, United States, Canada, and Mexico designed to remove tariff barriers between the three countries, kind of dissolving our borders in terms of trade. Okay. All right, so a seventh key feature that has revolutionized the new International Division of Labor is foreign management. I'll give you a moment to formulate and write out your answer or press pause if you need to. Okay, so in a situation where there's foreign management of a company or an economy, upper management is usually from a more developed country and the management is not executed by the local economy. For example, this may be the recent situation in Greece after the economy basically collapsed and the more developed European Union began to take over. Okay, I might be slightly wrong in that example, but yeah, I think you get the point. And this may not be welcome by the country that's being controlled, okay? So keep that in mind.